The wrap up of our 16th annual auction. This has been an unusual year for all of us, no doubt, but it's also been a good year and an important year, I think, for us to see the value of the work that we do. This spring, nature kept me sane. I got into gardening like never before. So many people let us know how much they enjoyed walking on some of our publicly accessible properties that we've helped to protect, like Glass Farm in Yellow Springs, beautiful wetland and prairie area. And, you know, clearly the work that we do to preserve land and water and natural habitat forever is just very, very valuable to people. We've stayed busy and actually have closed 23 conservation easements this year and have 30 more in the hopper that we have funding for, so that the landowners will get compensated for part of the value that basically comprises what they're committing to in the easement. So we're very excited. We kind of haven't missed a beat, although everything has been strange for us. We definitely have been participating in our community organizing. I think all of us, just to make sure that people have food security through this period. It's never, to me, been more obvious that some of our global and national distribution systems are really not reliable enough, and that our local protection of farmland becomes immediately important. And that's something I think that we're going to see some changes in the next few years. Farmers are looking at changing their operations, and I think consumers are looking to know their farmer better and be able to source locally as much as they can. There's been an awful lot of coming together that I think has resulted as a result of this crisis. But it means we can't have a party, which is very disappointing because we love this party. This is when we get to celebrate every year. So we're just gonna have a little wrap up today with some of the chief partiers, just to say we miss you, but we really appreciate your participation. Things are going well with the auction. We will give you a few more details here before we wrap up. But please, if you haven't already signed up, do take a look at what we've got, and do think about a donation. Every $100 you spend or just donate makes our work possible. We are not funded by government. We often get access to grants to pay private landowners, but it's you that makes our work possible. So thank you. I'm gonna turn it over to Andy.
Okay. Well, thank you, Krista. My name's Andy Elder. I'm the president of the Board of Trustees, and it's been a pleasure serving with the Tecumseh Land Trust for these years. I have to admit that before I became on the board, I've learned a lot since then that doing these conservation easements is not such a simple thing as just getting a bunch of signatures on a paper and recording it. Even though sometimes that in itself is challenging. There's a whole lot to it, whole lot leading up to it, working with different agencies and government bodies as well. And there's a whole lot that comes into play afterwards as well. And it's challenging in its own, and it's even more challenging during the current pandemic. But I've been very impressed and very amazed at how well we've been able to keep on keeping on. As Chris has said, we've closed a number of them. It seems like they all come in bunches, and the staff and volunteers had to really work very hard the last month or so to get these last few for this term through, and they did it with flying colors, and we greatly appreciate that. But as you know, that like any organization, we have to somehow fund this, and this is one of our ways to do it. We've appreciated the support that everyone's given us to date through this whole COVID mess, but we also appreciate any support you can give us now so we can continue on. And hopefully, as Krista says, we miss not being able to see everybody, in the actual auction event, having a little wine or beer and the delicious food and camaraderie with everybody. Hate to do it this way. Hopefully we'll never have to do it this way again, and we will see everybody soon. But if you can find a way to help us out, we much appreciate it. So rather than going on, I will pass on to the next.
Scott, are you ready?
You bet. Hi, folks. My name is Scott Clark. I'm a nearly lifelong villager. Along with my wife, Janine, we have been sustaining members of the Tecumseh Land Trust for a number of years. We both really appreciate, we value the mission of the Land Trust in preserving farmland. It means a lot to me because one of my best friends for decades, his 150-year-old family farm is protected by an easement with the Land Trust, but also in helping protect Glen Helen in perpetuity. I want to encourage everybody to get on the website, bid on some packages, make a donation. You can even make a sustaining donation, and especially the part at the end, the plea, $100 preserves an acre of farmland forever. So that's about all I've got to say. But it's been a lot of fun so far. Look forward to seeing some of you tomorrow when you come out and pick up your items. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Scott. Susan.
Hi, I'm Susan Miller. I'm currently the vice president of the board. And my husband Phil and I, while we don't own any rural land, we're very supportive of the mission and the goals of the Land Trust. And with that in mind, we would like to donate $1,000 to help preserve an additional 10 acres of land. Would you all like to join us? Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're now going to turn to Adam and Mia, who actually were on WYSO yesterday, if you haven't heard that tape yet. Adam and Mia.
Thanks, Krista.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're local farmers.
Yeah, good. Okay.
We're local farmers here in Clark County and Champaign County, and we make local foods, and we couldn't do that without protecting natural resources. And the best way to have natural foods is have natural resources. So we truly believe that Tecumseh Land Trust is an important part of everybody's reliability to have good food and, you know, preserving property that shouldn't be developed. You know, it needs to be a priority for everybody, that if we want to have a local food source that's clean and healthy and reliably sourced, and support the Tecumseh Land Trust. And
it benefits everyone.
Yeah, it benefits everybody. And thank you, Susan, for that plea. And everybody, scroll down to the bottom of the items. If you don't see an item that you wanted to bid on, get down to the bottom and make the plea. We'll be on there as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
And by the way, Adam and Mia, Honey Creek Beef is one of their farming operations, and there is an item that's up for bids, 30 pounds of select cuts of meat, and you'll get a free farm tour. And is this the barn that they'll get to visit?
Krista.
Yeah,
Krista, this is the barn, 1830s. I don't know if you can see the architecture inside here, but it's absolutely incredible. The beams, everything's built by hand. This farm doesn't currently have a preservation easement on it, but it's something that eventually we're going to look at. But we're in the process of saving this barn, and so if you buy our item on there, come tour this barn with us. Thank you.
Oh, it's exciting. And we've got next Melissa Batista and Matthew Birdsall, who are two education volunteers who have been very involved in the last few years. Matt, some of you may remember, was one of our spotters last year, very enthusiastic spotter indeed, but they're willing to pitch in this year. So take it away.
We just wanted to talk about why TLT is important to us. Your work's important to our family because we value clean air, fresh water, and safe and nutritious food. So preserving and encouraging biodiversity is our priority because it provides medicines and materials for clothing and shelter, as well as a beautiful setting.
And really now, more than ever, we need to make a greater effort to preserve the small fraction of fertile land we have left. Through cultural and historic preservation, communities can conserve resources, reduce waste, and save money through repair and reuse, as opposed to demolition and development, just like Adam was talking about. Preserving historic lands and buildings not only connects us to the past, but it also provides us a direction for our future.
So TLT doesn't receive taxation funds from the government like other organizations, but instead relies on competitive grants and donations from landowners and other charitable organizations, and of course the generosity of members and the supporting community. So bid generously.
Hey, we all benefit from the work of the Tecumseh Land Trust, from relaxing on a nature walk through protected lands to enjoying food from supported farms. Some of our favorite events are sponsored by TLT, like the White House Sunflower Field, the Solstice Poetry Reading, the Sugar Shack Tour, and of course, the annual Harvest Auction. We want to make sure that our daughters and their children and generations to come can benefit from the work of the Tecumseh Land Trust long after we're gone. This is our legacy. So again, bid generously. Thanks.
Amen, you guys. I think we could probably go on all day, but we want these people to stop listening pretty soon here and get bidding. I want to next turn it over to Michelle Burns, and just let me say that those 23 easements have been heroic. Our bureaucracies that we have to work with, we've got a lot of good partners. It's really difficult for them to be able to administer these programs, you know, and to coordinate the programs takes an awful lot of work. So is quite a hero of the Land Trust, and she's going to talk a little bit about what some sort of wrap-up details about how long we're going to be open for bidding, that kind of stuff. So thank you, Michelle.
All right. So there's still time to register from the link on our website. Bidding will close at 8 o'clock tonight. Winners will be notified by email or text, and items can be picked up at the TLT office Saturday 1 to 4 or Sunday 10 to 1. And if that's not convenient, you can call the office and we can make some arrangements. Donations on the website can still happen until September 30th at noon. So please donate. Bid large and donate large. Thanks.
Great. Well, thank you so much. And I just want to underline, you know, thanks to our sponsors. This has, you know, been such an unpredictable year, and we were just in the process of trying to line up sponsors for this year's auction. And it's impressive how many of them just came through, not a blink. This is still something that matters to us. You know, it's an important part of the underwriting of our efforts here. We are close to our goal. Please do donate now. If not, bid up another item, you know, that you're interested in. And please do share on social media, invite friends who you think are interested. And I think that this tape will continue to be online. So if you think they might like to hear what we have to say about this passion that we have, please feel free to share with it. Anything else for the good of the order?
I appreciate everyone's efforts and appreciate everyone's interest and what you can do to help us out, and enjoy the beautiful weekend coming ahead, because winter is upon us soon. Thank you all.
Be careful baling hay, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.